My nose was still baby nose. We don't grow small, we don't get breasts. We are going through puberty. I'm now a big girl. A couple of years back, I went out, I sampled it. I felt like it was a bit masculine, a bit dark. I walked away from it. I was wondering, what's the hype about? I got an email recently saying we don't know when this product will ever come back in stock. We will not be producing Gran SOIR anymore. Is that why I'm getting this sort of emails? Darling, we haven't got this perfume, doesn't look like it's coming in, find something else. Please just pay up and let them release that shipment, because if you have a bottle of Gran SOIR, by the way, hold it tight. Hey Bambi, welcome back to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. I'll become part of the family. In today's video, I will be talking about MFK's Gran SOIR. Has it been discontinued? What exactly is going on? I'll also be doing a full review of the perfume, so if that's something you're interested in, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Starting off, Gran SOIR was a perfume released by Maison Francis Kurkdijian in 2016. It's an amber fragrance, very popular. I would say it's one of the most successful releases from this house after Baccarat Rouge 540. A couple of years back, I went out, I sampled it. I felt like it was a bit masculine, a bit dark. I walked away from it. I was wondering, what's the hype about? Because loads of people were talking about this fragrance and I didn't get it. I walked away. 2 years later, I'm now the one that is looking for Gran SOIR everywhere. It is out of stock everywhere, to the point that I put my email address so that I could get a notification for when it comes back. I got an email recently saying we don't know when this product will ever come back in stock. If you want to try out these other alternatives, and I was like, goodness gracious father, has MFK sent an email to this company to say we will not be producing Gran SOIR anymore? Is that why I'm getting this sort of email to say, well, darling, we haven't got this perfume, doesn't look like it's coming in, find something else? It might be, it might not be. Still on the MFK website as sold out. If they were discontinuing it, I would hope that they would totally take it down from the website, but you just never know. Francis Kurkdijian, please, whatever is holding the next batch of Gran SOIR, please just pay up and let them release that shipment. Gran SOIR is a heavy amber fragrance. It's got notes of amber, it's got benzoin in it, it's got vanilla, tonka bean, labdanum and lavender. I had been looking for the perfume everywhere. Finally, I found it. One of us in the Fragcom community decided that she didn't want it anymore. Thank you so much for letting me buy this off you. I'm so grateful. It came in this box and then top is gold. This is what the fragrance looks like. The juice. Oof. Ooh. Just by the color, you can tell that this is an amber fragrance. This fragrance is one of my favorites to put on my thumbnail. If you know my channel and you know my thumbnails, I always find a way to just insert Gran SOIR there. For somebody who did actually like Gran SOIR, I don't know what made me to think it's okay to just be putting Gran SOIR on all my thumbnails. I think I just like the way it looks on my thumbnails, and I like the way it looks in person. It is a beautiful fragrance. As soon as this arrived, to be very honest, I wasn't expecting fantastic projection on Gran SOIR, just because not every MFK fragrance performs that long or lasts that long. But Gran SOIR, I sprayed it on the first day. The next day I could still get whiffs of it. It's a very good MFK fragrance. In fact, between Gran SOIR and Gentle Fluidity Gold and Baccarat Rouge 540, those three, I think the performance on them is really good. I'll say Gran SOIR, the performance is better than Gentle Fluidity Gold for sure. I get it now. It is a really lovely. The first time I also smelled this, I thought, oh, this is masculine, because when I started my fragrance journey, I was very heavy on my florals. If it wasn't floral, if it wasn't light, my nose was still baby nose. But now we don't grow small, we don't get breasts. We are going through puberty in the perfume stage. So Gran SOIR does not scare me no more. I'm now a big girl. If you're looking for alternatives to Gran SOIR, because that email said to me find something else, and I thought, you know what, I will find something else for my people. If you're looking for alternatives to Gran SOIR, I will be sharing my top 5 Gran SOIR alternatives. My number 1 alternative to Gran SOIR, if you can't get your hands on it, would be Dior Amber Nuit, without a shadow of doubt. Amber Nuit is a heavy amber fragrance. It's also got that fresh feel to it, that sort of clean feel to it. Amber Nuit is a bit more fresher, a bit lighter than Gran SOIR. Gran SOIR has got more darkness to it. It's a bit darker, richer in the way it smells. But if you still want an amber fragrance, lovely amber fragrance, you can't get your hands on Gran SOIR, I'll definitely check out Amber Nuit. If you get the 40 ml, you pay about £115, but the 90 ml is over £200. Gran SOIR is 70 ml perfume and you're looking at about £150 for this one. Number 2 alternative to Gran SOIR is Amber Eccentrico by Armani Privé. I almost got that fragrance at some point. It's just that I got another Armani Privé fragrance, which you all know about. Amber Eccentrico is another really beautiful amber fragrance. The major difference is Amber Eccentrico has got those dried fruit notes. It's going to be a bit more fruity, a bit, not fruity, don't think fruity like watermelon fruits, think more like a fruit cake. Gran SOIR has got that hint of lavender, which makes it at some point to go from that rich dark amber to freshness. Amber Eccentrico on the other hand is going to be rich amber, but it's going to stay dark throughout. Moving on, another really good alternative to Gran SOIR would be Amber Room by Famine. If you've got Famine money, this one I highly suggest that you go and try it out before you buy it. Don't say Priscilla said that Amber Famine is going to spell exactly like Gran SOIR. I didn't say that. I said it's a nice alternative. If you're looking for Gran SOIR, can't get Gran SOIR, try out Amber Room from Famine. Finally, the last alternative to Gran SOIR I would say would be Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. Tobacco Vanille is going to be a bit more smoky. It hasn't really got, I don't even think it's got the amber notes in it, but it kind of smells similar. It kind of gives you the same vibe. It gives you that warm, spicy sort of feel that would give you a similar effect to Gran SOIR. Another fragrance that hasn't got the amber note but kind of gives me the same vibe is Vanilla Diorama from Dior. This fragrance is a heavy, spicy fragrance. Spicy, vanilla, warm, gives me the same vibe as Gran SOIR, but is not quite Gran SOIR. If you don't have Gran SOIR just yet, I would say Vanilla Diorama is definitely a place to go. Another fragrance in my collection that gives me a similar vibe to Gran SOIR is Magenta Tanzanite. This is the most furthest away, but it gives me a similar vibe, that whole warm, spicy vibe without the amber. Without the amber, because the amber is like, imagine for example you're making a creamy pasta, you put everything in it but you don't put in any cheese, and your cheese is what makes it gooey. Magenta Tanzanite is lacking that gooiness which the amber gives you, but it gives you a very, very similar vibe to Gran SOIR for sure. Finally, another fragrance in my collection that gives me a similar vibe to Gran SOIR is Dates Delight from House of Oud. This one is going to be smelling more like Amber Eccentrico because it's fruity, but it still has that warm, spicy vibe without the amber, but kind of similar vibe. We're looking for similar vibes. We're looking for alternative things that we can use to hold ourselves until Gran SOIR is back in stock. Dates Delight is something you can definitely hold on to. There you have it. Go ahead and let me know, do you have a bottle of Gran SOIR? If you have a bottle of Gran SOIR, by the way, hold it tight, value it, hug it, kiss it, because it is very hard to come by these days. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Go ahead and do all of that good stuff, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Guys, please like, please share, please subscribe. And until I see you again in my next video, because I look forward to seeing you again in my next video, stay beautiful, stay blessed, hi, and bye. This fragrance, if you're Dates Delight. And finally, another fragrance, you know when you have cereal, you put everything in your cereal, but you don't have like or rather, imagine if finally number 2 recommendation, number 2 alternative to amber, number 2 alternative like has MFK, you know, we no, but now vanilla tonka be anyways, Gran SOIR is an amber Gran SOIR is an starting off 2 years later. I am now the one looking for Baccarat. I'm starting off as LVMH. Starting off a bit of backstory. So it's not that I want you here. Yeah.